What's going on, YouTube? Drama D here. Never went live before, so this should be interesting. I'm gonna try to watch the chats. But yeah, if you guys are hanging out, got nothing to do, gonna be trying to get this thing wet right now. Hey, what's up? Can't really tell who just joined. I'm on my phone. Never went live, bear with me. So we're gonna get this wet today. I went ahead and disconnected everything from the apex and got it plugged in. Played around with the Neptune's little stuff, so I don't have a tripod. I'm gonna have to set the phone down a few times and bring the water over here and we'll start filling it up. What's up, everyone? I'm not sure how to respond to the chat being live. I'm on my cell phone. I never went live before, so this is all new. Bear with me. But here's a little top down. I was talking to a few buddies and we're thinking about just doing a solid jawbreaker and bounce tank for now. Just let it grow out for like a year. I don't know, I want to do some SBS, but I'm not sure if the one castle is going to be good enough. But let me go ahead and try to prop this phone up at the tank. I'm going to drag the water over and we'll start filling this thing up. I did leak test the sump and the tank, so hopefully none of the plumbing leaks. We'll see how this goes. Give me 1 second. Let me just try to prop this up. So I am going to be using Scripps water on this. I went ahead and adjusted the alk and calcium to my other tank's parameters, which is 8.3 on the alk and about 425 on the calcium. I also did bring the mag up to about 1400. You guys want to see what I look like? Too bad. Let me get the water brought over there. Got me some brew containers. Got about 44 gallons right here in this one. And then I got another 60 gallons on standby. I'll just block you guys. So you're on here. What's up, Hector? Go ahead and pick it up. There's water. It's been mixing for about a week. I don't like to use Scripps right away. I like to let it aerate, bring up the alk and cal, test some of the parameters on the water. The phosphate was about 0.4 in this water. Magnesium was real low. It was like 1280. It's not real low, but a little bit low for my liking. And then the NO3, I didn't detect any. It's fresh waters from Scripps down in La Jolla. So I'm gonna try to prop this phone up in a different spot, and then I'm gonna get my hoses ready. I gotta run a power cord so I can pump this, and hopefully we don't have any leaks. And then I gotta plug everything into the apex. I disconnected everything because I had to sync the 832. I didn't want to like turn it on and then all the pumps kick on and it's running dry. So another thing, I got some of this Biospira. I've used it before with excellent results. I'm not sure if other people, this is startup. It's live bacteria. I've also used this in the past. It's the Microglyph Night Out 2. I've used a bigger bottle of this. Now with this stuff, saltwater tanks, you need to add a little bit more than what it recommends, because it doesn't do as advertised. It even says on the bottle somewhere, with salt tanks, add a little bit more, like double the dose. And then some stability. So this was all that was available when I went to get some a couple weeks ago. The guys put an order in and they got these two. I think on the 150 I used Dr. Tim's. But I'm just going to use a little bit, and then a couple days from now a little bit more, and then a little bit more. Do like a mixture of bacterias. I'm also going to be pulling a cube out from my sump, throwing it in here, and hopefully that will help jumpstart the cycle. I'm not looking for a speedy cycle, I just want some bacteria in there to help the cycle out. All the rock is dry, all the sand was dry, everything's, there's no bacteria in here, so hopefully that'll jumpstart something. Let me go ahead and prop the phone up. Sorry guys, I ain't got no tripod. Oh man. Get some power cords ready and start pumping some water in here. Cross fingers. Let me get some towels ready just in case there is a leak. Did you guys see me? I'm a little shy guy. Still here, guys. It's a little bit of a boring stream, I know, sorry. That guy's hit me up, wanting me to do it live. I have Hangouts, but I tried to join Mike Lemming's stream, and Hangouts just kept kicking me back to the App Store, which I already have installed on my phone. I was talking to E-Money. He was saying I gotta set it up on my computer and on my phone. Let's set it up on my computer first. So I gotta do that later today. Not sure how that's gonna work out because my computer's an Apple and my phone is an Android. And, the two don't mix. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's a inline pump. Comes in real handy when I do my weekly water changes. I like to use to siphon out my sump, the detritus and all that. The only thing that kind of sucks about this pump is it's weak. Once it loses siphon, you got to turn it off. You got to blow all the water out of the lines and then plug it back in and restart the siphon. It doesn't like large particles of detritus going through it, but it works as a good inline pump if you're trying to pump water from one spot to another. Works great. But I just wish it was a little bit more powerful, and if it loses siphon, I wish it was strong enough to where, if you put the hose back in the water, it pick the siphon back up. I've had it for a couple years. I use it on my 150 just to siphon out the sump and transfer water from barrel to barrel. Works great with the MaxiJet 1200. Just hook it up to one end of the pump, and you have two pumps running instead of one. Almost ready, guys. You get a clip. You guys have never seen me before, here I am. I hope you guys can see me. What's up? San Diego. It's got me a little husky clip here, blah blah blah. I'll be real careful so I don't jack the glass on it. I'm gonna get a little plate or something, stick on here so I don't jack up my sand. It's a little Tupperware lid, hopefully it works. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining the stream. Never done a stream before, so appreciate you guys jumping in here, checking it out. Mike Lemming, challenge fail right here, buddy. But hopefully this makes up for it. You're all wet. I'm about to get all wet. Plan is to let this tank cycle for about a month, maybe less, depending on the biospira and the bacteria I put in there. I got some Dr. Tim's ammonia that I'll be using to test the cycle with. Now I'm going to jump it up to about 2 ppm on the ammonia. And then if it cycles it within 24 hours, then I'll dose it again for 2 or 3 days, make sure it cycles at 2 ppm down to 0. And that's all good. I might transfer over a fish or something. I don't know. Maybe not my clowns right away. Maybe a starter fish. Hector, if you want that solar wrasse, yeah, it's yours, man. I got another guy that wants some of the other fish. That was one of the ones he was interested in, but I'm gonna give you priority if you want that fish, bro. We've done lots of little deals in the past. All right, guys, so I think we're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and just fill the tank up about yay high first, and then I'll go ahead and fill the sump up about a third of the way, and then we'll have to plug everything into the apex, and I'll bring the phone over so you guys can see what's going on. And I gotta get my cheat sheet for the apex, which ports do what. I had it all plugged in, I unplugged it, and I kind of forgot where everything went, so. Let's get this thing wet, guys. Fail already. Already failed. I gotta move this bucket over to reach my power. Good thing is I got this thing on wheels, so. Bad thing is I got a little lip right here between my tile and my wood floor, my fake wood floor. Helps with leveling the aquarium though with the little mat underneath. Alright, so let me give you guys a shot real quick. In the bucket I have an MJ 1200. I'm going to hook up the inline pump to that. It ain't rocket science, guys. I'm just trying to walk you step by step through. Hey, what's up, Passion for Pets? Al, Salty, everyone, thanks for joining. Smash that like button. We're just getting this thing wet. Mike Lemon's been crying that his is wet and mine's not, so. What's up, Mike? Where you at? Missing the stream, Mike. Prop this up. Sorry guys, I don't have a tripod. Never went live before, so I don't know how interesting people like seeing tanks get wet. We've all done it. This is how I'm gonna do it. Water's starting to flow. Got a little Tupperware lid right there. Just kind of keeping my fan from getting too jacked up. I don't know if you guys can see. Tank's getting wet. Let's go ahead and plug in the inline pump now. We're going to get a little bit more power. Speed the process up. So I'm going to fill it like, I don't know, 2/3 of the way, and then I'll jump down to the sump. Start filling that up. I did rinse the sand in tap water, then I let it dry out, and then I rinsed it in RODI water. It was pretty dirty. See overflow. I'm not sure why it's buffering. I got the panoramic Wi-Fi. I am on my phone. But right now I'm just double checking all the seams. It's a funny story about this was my kids got into a little brawl and they slammed into this tank the other day. You can imagine how excited I was when I seen that. It's all good. They didn't get in trouble. They were just roughhousing and they got a little out of control. Told them once it was wet, can't be having that near the tank, so. Got a couple minutes while this is filling up. This is Marco Dry Rock. So I got the inline pump hooked up to the Maxi Jet. Tupperware's trying to float away. The water's temp is 78.6, I believe. So it's pretty much almost right on target where I want it. I like to keep it between 78 and 79. Or, excuse me, 77 and 79. I think I'm going to have the apex triggered at, if it drops below 77.5, then it kicks on. And if it's over 79, it turns off. Big question is how's that Nero 5 going to hold up? I was talking to a couple reefers and the mag is kind of loose. Doesn't feel that strong to me. So hopefully when I turn it on, when it spins around, it increases the magnet. Seen another guy who has one, and we were talking about it, and he says his holds on no problem. My question is why is the little propeller green? Why didn't they just make it black? So I could see the green algae growing on it better. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so far we're like 19 minutes in. Got the tank about halfway full right now. Sump is still empty. After this stream, I'm gonna have to get the skimmer stand, and I'm gonna go out and get me a little frame kit, and I'm gonna build a net top for it. I have some netting in my fish storage. That's just gonna help hopefully stuff falling in there or once fish get in there, fish jumping out. I'm kind of worried about the evaporation on this. I have a little kicking it up. Try not to disturb the sand too much. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and prop the foam back up, and I gotta turn this pump off. It's as high as I want to go right now. Fill up the tank, or fill up the sump, and then we'll go back to filling up the rest of the tank. Look at that, I didn't even have to turn the pump back on, it just self-siphened itself. So this is a Skims UP30 sump. I had it on my 150, and unfortunately it sprung a leak. So I pulled it out, and I now have the Triton 34 on the 150. I did take this out. Yeah, the lid did get away. I did take this one out, cleaned it all up, scrubbed it up, vinegar bathed it, and then I resealed it using Weld-On 16. Leak tested it for 2 days, completely full. This skimmer does, the left chamber here is a ATO chamber, but I don't use it. It's worthless, in my opinion. It only holds like a gallon. I have a little ATO over there. It's 2.5 gallons, which is soon to be 5 gallons. So we're gonna have to see the evaporation rate with it being no top. I know on my old systems I would do up to 5 gallons a week. Went ahead and turned on the pumps. You can hear it pumping now. So it's got dual socks. I only run the socks for maybe 3 days a week. I just get tired of cleaning them. I will be running probably a bag of carbon in there once the tank is cycled. Probably run it for about 7 days, and then I'll remove it. I really don't feel like carbon does anything after 12, 13 days. So over here, the ATO, we got the 3152. I've never used this one, but I do have the 3155. I'm a little bit concerned about this one because it doesn't have the optical sensor, and if that float switch fails or gets stuck, I mean, it's got a cover, it's a Tunzi, I got good reviews, but there's always that possibility. Hopefully it alerts me. There's a little control center. I got the Nero 5 controller, the Tunzi osmolator, the Kessel controller, and then the Varios 2 pump. Kind of nerve-wracking it anytime you fill up a new tank, even if you leak tested it. And there's a lid, Passion. Got it. It's a 150. Still nighttime. Devastated. Still got corals, but all the main ones are gone. Lights are still out on it. So yeah, once that 150 comes down, I'm probably gonna be setting up a 240 in its place. It's kind of funny, but I have a 240 out back, a Limar tank, just been sitting there. So yeah, we're 25 minutes in. We got the tank, I don't know, 3/4 way full. Sump about halfway. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the sump up about 3/4, maybe 2/3. How do you guys do it? Do you do the sump first, then the tank, or do you do the tank and the sump? I do it this way. Sometimes I'll fill the sump up all the way and then I'll just kick on the pumps and then have it pump it into the tank. Got 5 watching, got 1 like. I think we're 25 minutes in. What's up, everybody? Never live streamed before, so bear with me. I don't have a tripod. Right now we're pumping in some Scripps water for anybody that's new here. It's brought the parameters up to 8.3 and 425. Brought the mag up to 1400. Temperature is 77.6 or 78.6. I gotta look at my book. Yeah, first live stream. I don't know, everybody was asking, they wanted to see it live. Fill it up live, jump on Hangouts. You know, I've got problems with Hangouts, man. Every time I click on the link that they provide, it jumps me to the App Store to download the Hangouts app, which is already downloaded on my phone. So I was talking to E-Money, and he was saying I gotta set it up on my computer and then on my phone. So I don't know how that's gonna work because I have an Apple computer and I have an Android phone. So you know the two don't mix very well. So we got the sump about 3/4 of the way full. I think I'm gonna go just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna pop the phone over. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining the stream, man. So right now I can hear the water in the overflow where the socks are. It's flowing over to my heater, filling up the heater chamber. It's a Neotherm 200 watt. Looks like it's pretty much almost there. Let's see the water level coming up. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the pumps off. Look at that, you used almost all that water. It's funny how the sump is bigger than the tank. Alright, so let me prop this phone up because I know that hose is going to come out and then my floor is going to get flooded just from past. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday. So we'll keep that close by. Let me get my cheat sheet for my pumps and all that. Kind of made a sheet on what goes in what slot because I have the 832 all programmed for the lights and the return pump, skimmer, ATO. So I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, man. Thanks for joining. I'll see you guys later. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hook up the. Bring you guys. So this is my power center right here. I usually run everything outside or inside the stand. This time I decided to go ahead and do it outside the stand control center. Someone just rolled up in my house. Let me go see who this is real quick. You guys want to come with me? FBI open now. I think it was someone leaving. So we got 4 people watching. We're 30 minutes in now. I got the sump 3/4 of the way full. Tank 3/4 of the way full. Right now I'm going to go ahead and start hooking up the plugs to the apex. I don't know if you guys can see. It's kind of dark. But let's see here. I got everything labeled. So the return pump goes in slot 3. Crap. 1 second, I gotta get a flashlight. Alright, I'm back. Just walking over. Alright, so okay, so the top row, starting right to left, is 1, 2, 3. So I got the return pump. I didn't really think about this, but I think I might have to open up the Apex app on my phone. Oh. Power that thing. See that? I plugged it in, and the reef octo turned on and started blasting water. We'll go ahead and let it blast a little bit of water. Turn it down a little bit. Get some water going down the overflow. Oh man, that's a loud overflow. What the hell? Nah, it's barely filled up. This is where I adjust the gate valve. And I'll probably have to put some more water in here. I had the gate valve wide open just because I didn't want it to be closed and then the drain not work. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the plumbing on the drain. Feeling around right now. I don't feel any leaks. Although I might not see any leaks right now, I still need to check on this for the next couple days. I'm going to go ahead and turn the return up just a little bit. Get a little bit more water flowing. Man, that drain sounds nasty. So I'm just closing the gate valve, little turn at a time. See the water level starting to rise. It's about to hit the emergency. I'm going to crack it open just a little bit. think for the silent system, you just want water barely trickling into the drain. Just barely. Into the emergency, excuse me. So, all right, Scoop. Thanks for joining, man. Sorry about the novice stream. It's my first live stream. Hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, so right now I got water barely trickling into the emergency. I'm gonna open it up just a little bit more. I don't want it like full flowing in the emergency. I just want just you know, with the gate valve, it's nice. You can make like real minor adjustments. So you can see now the water level has dropped about a 1/4 inch below the emergency, and you can hear the waterfall effect. I'll go ahead and close it. Too much. Too much. A lot of this is going to have to do with the, you know, how high I have the return pump. Right now you can see, you know, the water on the top of the tank is, well, it's not too bad. It's a little bit loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. But that is on speed 3 out of 5. Let's see their emergency. It's a trickling noise from their emergency. Now when you hear that sound, that's when something's wrong. So it looks like I might not have to add any more water to the sump. I know when I turn the skimmer on, it's going to take up some of that water. I might have to suck some water out. Real quick look at the overflow. So the only thing I have plugged in right now is the return pump. I am going to run the skimmer during the cycle, but I'm just going to take the top off, and I'm just hoping that's going to help break it in. It's a brand new skimmer. Open it up just a little bit more. Just messing with the gate valve right now. If you do like a 1/4 turn on it, it's way too much. I gotta make like maybe a 1/4 inch turn at a time on it. I know Hector, he had a pretty badass Lagoon tank. Dead silent, badass corals, badass light. Sorry about the language if you got kids watching. I don't know, I did shorten up the lock line on the return line. It was like, I don't know, 8 inches long, came way out to here. I really don't, I could have turned it and made it, you know, face this way, but I figured with the Nero 5, there's no need for it to be that long. I might take off the little fan blade. You know, I'm not sure how I like that. It looks like right now that the left side of the tank is not getting as much ripple as the right, but hopefully the Nero 5 will, you know, break the water tension over here. The overflow is silent. What you're hearing right now is the emergency drain. So I'm just trying to fine tune it back to where it's barely trickling in there. Oh, looks like the lights are starting to come on in the 150. I don't know if anybody in San Diego felt it, but there was an earthquake last night. Small one, I didn't feel it. Hopefully the big one doesn't hit and half this water end up on the floor. It's always been one of my concerns. Having the open top or no glass lid is just all this water solution and sloshing. I had a 55 gallon back, I don't know, 5-6 years ago on Easter, and I lost about 10 gallons of water out of it just from the earthquake. It's probably the biggest quake that we felt here for a while. Alright, enough looking at the drain. It's you guys want to see the 360X plugged in? See what kind of shimmer we get on this thing? We'll plug everything in. Let me see here. So, let's see. Boom, 360X. That's going to go in port 1. I have not programmed the light at all. It's the first time the light has ever been on. Right now, if you guys can see that, it's like 34 and 38%. This is the Kessel X controller. Just gives you a little bit more color options. So now it's ramping up to 50. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna have to pull out the book and watch a couple YouTube videos. If you guys got any recommendations on some settings for a Lagoon tank. This is the first time I've turned it on. I've been waiting for this moment. So just looking at the wall, you can see the shimmer up on the wall. Looking at the tank, seems to be some good coverage, a little bit of shadowing on the middle rock. Oh, sweet, Al. I didn't know that either. Thank you. It's kind of thrown together with what I had. I was going to try to do like a horizontal donut shape on the rock that was suspended with acrylic rods. And it would have like a middle swim through. And I was going to call it the Ring of Fire. But I didn't know how I felt about the acrylic rods and how I was going to mount them. And I was able to get this rock, so I figured I'd just use what I have and make it work. So I figured the 3 pillars, each pillar will have its own little species only coral, and it's got several swim throughs. Now with the return pump on, you can't really see the top down, but if I pause it, it looks pretty cool. So far, the shimmer on this light is beautiful, man. It looks natural. I am noticing some shimmer on my ceiling. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I might have to do like a floating canopy just to help direct some of that light more towards the tank and not on the walls and ceiling. So I've kind of let the overflow settle down, and as you can see, all my little fine adjustments have dropped the water level down from the return. So I'm going to go ahead and just give that another couple 1/4 inch turns. I'm going to let the water come up. Can you guys see that? Hey, what's up, Fishy? Thanks for jumping in here, man. This is my first live stream ever. So what we did today was we're just getting this 25 Lagoon Wet. I got the return plugged in, and I got the Kessel plugged in to the apex. I still got to plug the heater in, the ATO, the skimmer. I'm going to take the cup off and just let the skimmer run without the cup. Just let it break in. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So far on the Kessel light, I have not programmed anything. I just turned it. This is the first time I've seen it. This is the first time you're seeing it. It's kind of like a little gift to me as a I held off turning it on and checking out the shimmer, playing around with it. I just love Kessel Shimmer. The new chip and lens they have on here it's pretty good. For me, just turning it on and not messing with anything, it's pretty good. Me personally, I like more of an icy look. I like the 18 to 20K look, but um, I want to say right now it looks about 14K. So the light is, I believe, 10 inches off the water. Let's measure it. Yeah, the EXT tanks are, I just feel it gives you a little bit more room inside the actual tank and allows you to run the sump, which gives you just a little bit better options for equipment. Not a lot of people, I'm a 12, 1 foot off, they want, let's see, off the water, 12.5 inches with the light. I can adjust it up or down, but I'm good with 12 inches for now. You know, I'm gonna have to, when I put the corals in there, I'm gonna have to put it on the acclimation mode. You know, let the corals acclimate. So let's go ahead and plug in the Nero 5 if I can find the plug. So that should be in slot 6. So right here's my power center. This is the 832. I have it running off my Apex. I went on to this website called Monolight or something, and I was able to find the Aquabus cables without the repeaters on them for only $2. So I got 40 feet for $2. I mean, compared to Neptune's price of like $20. Now I know they say that if you don't use their cables and something happens, you know, the warranty issues and all that. So I got a heater here. So that's supposed to go in slot 4. Let me shine my light down here. What's up? Welcome to Drama D's live stream. It's my first live stream, so bear with me. I'm not really used to doing a live stream. I don't have a tripod. This is kind of spur of the moment. I was asked to take the day off so I can take care of some stuff. Well, I took care of that stuff all this morning, so I got the rest of the day. Mike Lemming wanted me to get my tank wet. A lot of people were wanting me to fill it up live, so here we are. First live stream. Got the Lagoon. Using Marco Dry Rock. Special grade carob seed dry sand. I don't buy the live stuff. As far as the bacteria, picked up some Biospira. I've used this in the past. It worked great. It's a startup. I also got some Microbe Lift 2 Night Out. Also a good bacteria, but with this one you need to add double what they recommend, because salt tanks tend to remove the starter culture. See, it says note, salt water slows down bacterial action. For faster results, add 25 to 50% more product. So I'm not going to be adding all of this all at once. I got some stability because that's all they had when I first went a couple weeks ago. My past tanks, I've used Dr. Tim's. I just didn't want to order it. This is at my local fish store. So I've used Biospira and the Night Out 2 in the past, and they work great. Stability I've used as well with not so great results. I do have some Dr. Tim's ammonium chloride that I will be using. I think it's ammonium chloride that I'll be using to dose the tank up to 2 ppm of ammonia. And then if it cycles it in 24 hours, then I'm going to go ahead and dose it back up and make sure it is able to cycle the ammonia. down to 0. And then we'll be testing. I could put out some videos of me testing, you know, the nitrates and ammonia. Probably bust out the old school API kit. I do have the better kits, but the API works great for just testing the cycle. Where were we at here? The heater. The heater is plugged in. Unfortunately, I put it in a spot. It's kind of hard to access. So I totally forgot I never plugged any of this in. And it's a Neotherm 200 watt, so I need to go ahead and pull it out right now and set the temp. I am getting the temperature probe for the Apex, and I am also getting a temperature controller for this Neotherm in addition to the temperature probe on the Apex to control the heater. I've heard good and bad things about the Neotherm. I've used them 3 or 4 times in the past, and I've never had an issue with them, but I had a guy tell me that his whole tank crashed because of this same heater, same wattage and everything. A lot of people are saying that those issues have been resolved. I don't doubt it. Probably shouldn't. So it's plugged in. I have to open, I think I turned the port off on my Apex, so I'm gonna have to open up the Apex browser and turn that port on. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that undid for now so I could turn it on. The temp of the water was 77.8 or 78.6. I got it written down, I gotta look. So the Nero 5 pump, let's see here. Got everything labeled. Nero 5, there it is. You guys see that? So I'm using that on the utility port on the Apex, which is on 24/7. Let me just look at which port. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's on the 6th port. Okay. Kind of a blocky controller. Okay, so the Nero 5 is plugged in. Still need to download the app. You guys see it? Water's a little bit cloudy, but not too bad considering it's all dry sand and dry rock. Not sure what the setting is, but I gotta download the app on my phone now that it's plugged in and sync it all up and get the controller working on that. There's a little controller, looks like it's on, I don't know, green is constant mode. I think every time you push it, it does something. But it is dead silent. You can just see with the pump on, my emergency drain is now taking a little bit more water. The left side of the tank is definitely getting more surface agitation now. Yeah, it might be a little bit too high. I just don't want it to create a big hole in the center of the tank. So yeah, I'll have to download the app, figure that out in a little bit, mess with the Kessel controller. So if I plug in the ATO right now, it's gonna sound the alarm because the water level's too high. So maybe we'll go with the skimmer. Let me prop my phone up and I'll take the cup off. We'll turn the skimmer on and we'll just let it flow. How many gallons is the tank? Sorry, man, I haven't been keeping an eye on the comments. The tank is a 25-gallon Lagoon. The sump is a UP30 skim sump. So actual water gallons, I had 44 gallons in this trash can. I want to say I have probably 2 to 3 gallons left. So total system volume, I want to say probably, I want to say it was just under, it was about 40 gallons in here. So about 32 gallons probably. 25 plus whatever's in the sump. I used to have markers on the sump, but when I cleaned it, they all came off. You could hear the Nero 5 is doing its thing and it's causing some water to go down the drain. Open it up just a hair. So yeah, let me prop the phone up and I'll take the skimmer cup off. I am gonna run the skimmer during the cycle just with the collection cup off just to help break it in. It is brand new. That is a FC80 skimmer. I'm not sure if anybody's ever seen it before, but the unique thing about this is the top bubble on the top of the skimmer. It's got a weird, I've never seen that on a skimmer before. The sump is on a little foam pad. And the stand was pretty much dead level when I first put it on. It was pretty amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and check the level as well after I end the stream, just to make sure that, you know, the tank is settling out pretty good. It's gonna take a few days with all the water in it and it running for me to really know, but I have some little shims I'll tap in there if needed. I can't stress enough from my past experiences how important it is to have the tank level, especially out here in California with the earthquakes. So I'm going to take the cup off and then we'll plug in the skimmer. Hopefully that'll drop the level in the sump and then I can go ahead and turn on the ATO. And then we'll probably call that a video. Let me mess around with the settings and then I'll try to put out some updates for you guys every couple days or once a week. Let me know what you guys want and I'll try to go ahead and put that out there for you. And the overflow's still needs to be tuned. What's up, everyone? Drama D here. San Diego, California. It's like a coffee cup. Little cup of skim mate fruit with your breakfast. Alright, so we got the cup off. It's an FC80 Aquamax skimmer. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not endorsed by anybody. It's got a Shark 1.0 pump. I remember they used to have the, what was it, the silent pump. What was it called? I can't think of the name of it right now. What is it called? I'm having a brain fart right now, guys. Skimmer. Alright, so skimmer goes in port 5. Now I know a lot of people are kind of nervous about having all their stuff plugged into the Apex, you know, considering a power outage. I used to run energy bars or DJ power strips, and Used to run everything on those and only a couple components on the Apex, just because I was scared power goes out. You know, the brains of the operation, or you know, what happens when the power comes back on is it's gonna shoot a voltage of electricity. What do you call that? A surge protector, and just short out everything. Or anyways, so the skimmer's going. I'm just gonna let it run for a couple days, let it break in. Then I might turn it off. You know, I got the Apex, I can just flip the switch, turn it off. But I want to let it run for a couple days. It's brand new. I did rinse it out before I put it in here. I did not soak it in vinegar. I just kind of rinsed it in my sink, dried it out, put it back together. Seems to be producing a pretty good skim mate. A little side shot of it. It says Aquamax for the gate, which raises and lowers. They're kind of, the dial seems kind of tight right now, but not so tight. I don't know if the threads need to be broken in or something just not cross-cutting. Doesn't feel like it. But it's got a big old Venturi, you know, to the air. It's even got like a little dial, you know, low and high. I'm gonna just leave it wide open. Trying to loosen this thing back up. So amazingly, I turned the skimmer on, and the water didn't really drop at all. So I think I'm gonna have to siphon out some of this water. Bring the water level down a little bit. Let's see what happens when I turn the pump on up higher. I don't want to see the sand starting to blow around. The overflows going crazy. So far, I don't see any leaks. I don't know if you guys have seen up here the plumbing. I have it coming into a manifold. Eventually, if needed, I will be running a GFO reactor or a Chiato reactor. Probably leaning more towards the Chiato reactor. I was talking to a couple guys about maybe putting a baffle wall in here and then just doing a refugium in the back instead of the Chiato reactor, just because Chiato reactors, they tend to do well in the beginning, but from my understanding, unless you're dosing iron, they tend to, the Chiatos tend to start to die off in the Chiato reactors. Now I have one running on my other tank and it works great. I've never had a problem with it. The only issue is you gotta open it up maybe once every 2 weeks and pull out all the Chiato because it gets so dense and packed in there. Let's see if I can show you if it's still on. Yeah, so there's a Chiato reactor on my 150. It's basically a 4-inch ABS tube. It's got a cutout, and I put a computer fan on there. The inside of the tube is lined with LEDs, and those are wired in with the fan, so when the lights kick on, the fan kicks on. The bottom of the tube, I have these little notches cut out just so air can get in there. And then it's just it's an Aquamax FS reactor. But it works pretty good. I have it on a reverse photo period. I think my timer here got a little jacked up. So my first light has come on the tank and it's still on, but I think I have like 4 minutes to go and this thing should kick off. And there's a Deltec skimmer. But yeah, that's my Chiato reactor. It's a DIY reactor. It's just an Aquamax reactor. Slid inside a 4-inch ABS tube. I got a computer fan wired on it. and it works great. It runs on its own pump, on its own switch, so I could just turn it on and off. As far as maintenance, I just get a little bowl, pull the pump out, put the pump in the bowl, pull the whole reactor out, unscrew it, take some Chiato out of it, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's packed in there. You're just getting a glare right now from the lights. But yeah, instead of spending a couple $100 on one, you can make your own if you have a reactor. Um, as long as you keep up on the maintenance of it once a month, every couple weeks, pull some Chiato out. Once a month, maybe pull all the Chiato out, clean the inside, put it back in. I mean, it's up to you on how you like to do things. The way I do it, I pull Chiato out once every couple weeks, and maybe once a month, once every month and a half, I'll pull all the Chiato out and just clean it. This is my little coral and small fish quarantine. It's a micro reef tank. It used to be powered by a Nanobox Tide. It's pretty cool. It's a little all-in-one. It's got a mini jet 606 in the back. It's got a little media tray. I'm running floss, Purigen, and carbon. It's been set up for, I don't know, 3 months now. I just kind of use it for small fish or corals. It's good to have something on hand. There's the Apex that's powering the Lagoon. So we got the skimmer plugged in. I still need to dial in the heater. I need to siphon out some water so I can plug in this ATO. And what else do I have left on here? Probably after the stream ends, I'm going to dose some of the bacteria to the tank. I need to put the skimmer stand on. I think the skimmer is just a little bit too low, and my gate in the sump is maxed out to its lowest setting. So I just want to bump it up to where the skimmer's at. It says 7 to 9 inches, so that tells me run it at 6 3/4 inches. I find that works best. Excuse me. I need to dial in the overflow. Just to, it's going to take probably a couple hours of just me messing with it, seeing where I like everything to find what works best. I need to download the Nero 5 app so I can control that pump. Right now the water is, it's pretty rumbling. I like surface tension. It creates a good shimmer in the tank, but I don't want it too heavy of a flow in there. It's a lagoon tank. Lagoons don't have strong flow. I'm rambling, ain't I? I'm sorry, guys. First live stream. So yeah, I have the ATO. So I'll tell you what, guys. The tank is wet. We've been going for an hour and 8 minutes now. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. I'm going to go ahead and call it that. We'll go ahead and end the stream. But I just want to thank everybody for joining. It's my first live stream. I appreciate everybody's jumping on here, showing their support, thumbs up in it. This isn't, I'm not trying to say this is how it has to be done. This is the way I did it. I need to dial all the stuff in, drain the sump just a little bit, and dose it. Just get everything going. So you guys saw it live. The tank is wet. If you guys see Mike Lemmy, tell him come check my thing out, and I'll leave the video up. I appreciate everybody jumping in here, giving me a chance, trying to support me. I appreciate your guys' comments. This is, I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm trying to put out more content, and I just enjoy it. I enjoy watching what other people are doing, sharing ideas. Just a big fish fan, dude. I think it's pretty cool that we're all getting together, showing love for one another. But here I am rambling again. So the tank's wet. Once again, it is IM Lagoon 25 with a UP30 skim sump. Got the skimmer on just to help break it in. Tank's been wet now for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. The Kessel light looks pretty badass. Got plenty of shimmer. No tune on it at all. I got the Barrios 2 return pump on 3.5 right now. You can see the emergency drain is still spitting a little here and there. Still need to fine tune it. But I need to drop the water level in the sump before I do that. Still need to hook up the ATO. But yeah, looks like it's running. Need to mess with the heater controller. I need to open up the Apex and start setting timers and tuning that. So far, all the plumbing looks good. I don't see any leaks on the bulkheads. Check the return side. I got lots of unions. That's always a concern of mine. It's all the unions. That's where they tend to leak at. So yeah, the manifold seems to be holding its own. Everything looks good. So we'll let it run. We'll dose some bacteria in there. We'll do some testing, some future videos. Gonna tune the light, get the ATO set up, get the heater controller set up, mess with this little gate valve. It's real touchy. And keep you guys updated, man. So we're an hour and 12 minutes in. I just want to say thanks to everybody that joined the stream. It's my first live stream ever. I appreciate everybody coming in here, showing support, thumbs up in it. You guys got to see it live, the premiere. Drama D's 125-gallon lagoon, getting wet. Mike Lemming, if you're out there, sorry about the challenge, buddy, but we're both wet now. Game on, buddy. Alright, well, we'll call it that, and I got to get all this stuff tuned up and put away, and I appreciate everybody watching. Stay tuned for some updates on this tank. I'm not sure how I feel about the live stream. I feel like I'm rambling and maybe saying dumb stuff, but maybe I'll just put out some videos and you guys can check those out. I'm kind of a shy guy. I like giving my opinions and listening to others' opinions, but I'm not sure how I feel about the live stream. But thanks everybody for watching, and I appreciate the support. Love you guys, Fish Fam. We'll catch you on the next one, man.